Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Gianna Lian and I basically just bring you along throughout my life. Today guys, I am tier ranking popular Booktok books and basically all the books that I've read this year so far. So kind of Booktok books and all the books I've read this year so far, because most of the books that I have read this year, to be honest, are basically all the ones that blew up on TikTok. There's a few that are not as popular, but they still have been talked about on TikTok, I'm pretty sure. So I have my laptop here, which I will be screen recording my tier ranking list. The tier ranking website that I use is called tiermaker.com. It's basically the one that everyone uses. I made my own, but there's a bunch of different templates that you guys can use as well if you don't want to make one. But I'll have the one that I made linked down below as always. But yeah, we're just gonna get started here. I'm so excited. How do I do this? Okay, I got it to work after so many different tries. So I'm gonna go through all the tiers of what I named each one and like every single one of them means, and then we're gonna rank them. The first tier that we have, let's start from the bottom and then work our way up. So the first one is Don't Make Me Talk About It. This one is basically like my 1-star, 2-star books that like I just really didn't like, which there isn't too many of them, so that shouldn't probably be a problem. Then Honestly Forgettable, I got bored. So these ones are more of my 2 to 3 stars, ones that like were okay. Like I'm not mad that I read them, but they were forgettable. I don't know. They're just not that good. Then we also have It Was Enjoyable, I Would Recommend. And this one is more just like an, like I read it, okay, it was decent and I would still recommend, but it's like not a 4 stars. It's more of like a 3.5 or like a 3.75. Then we have Loved You But You Weren't Perfect. So these are all of my like almost 5-star reads. They're more just like 4 stars, 4.5, 4.75, stuff like that. They weren't my all-time favorites, but they still were really good. And then lastly, we have Would Sell My Soul to Experience This for the First Time, which are my god tier. These are the books that like I would sell my soul to basically read again. They're my all-time favorite books. So those are our tiers that we have. So I'm just gonna go down through the list. We have over 30 books to get through, so I'm very excited. The first one that we have isn't that known, but it's Wild Souls by Faith Prince. This is actually a new release. This one is probably gonna go into Loved You But You Weren't Perfect, because although I did enjoy it, it wasn't a 5-star read for me. I really liked it because it was a contemporary romance, but it did have like some elements of fantasy thrown in there, so I really enjoyed that part, so that's why it got such a high rating from me. Mary Jane. Okay, if you guys didn't know, this book is one of my all-time favorites that I read this year, so that is definitely going into Would Sell My Soul to Experience This for the First Time again, because oh my gosh, this book was just amazing and I recommend all of you guys to read it. Next we have Sidetracked, and Sidetracked, was that the 3rd book? Hold on, now I have to look it up because I don't want to be wrong. Sidetracked was the 2nd one, so that was a 5 stars for me. So that will definitely go into Would Sell My Soul to Experience This for the First Time again, because I enjoyed the first one a lot, but this one was like next level. Like this one was really good. I highly recommend that series as well. Also, I didn't even mention, do you guys like the Christmas tree? Of course it's pink, like that's besides the point, but our Christmas tree is pink and it's really pretty and I absolutely love it. So The Summer I Turned Pretty. This was a 5 stars for me technically, but I don't think I would sell my soul to experience this for the first time again, because even though it was a 5-star, I read it once and like I don't honestly want to read it again, but it was really good when I did read it. That's going in Loved You But You Weren't Perfect. Next we have Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I did this for one of my reading vlogs and I honestly thought that it was gonna be a really good book, but I don't know. It's definitely going into Honestly Forgettable. I got bored because I don't know, like I had such high expectations for it and I loved the cover of it, but it just like, it kind of failed. The next is The Universe in You. This was a poetry book that also one of my close Goodreads friends and lovely subscribers mentioned to me that she launched her book, so I had to read it. I actually really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna put it was enjoyable. I would recommend, because it was a 4 stars, I think I rated that book, but I have the feeling that it needs to go there. So next we have Paperweight, and Paperweight was the first book that I ever read starting my reading journey again. It got me back into reading, so this lovely book right here is definitely going into Would Sell My Soul to Experience This for the First Time, because this book will forever be so close to my heart and it also was very relatable to me as well, so that is going there. Next we have Six of Crows. Okay, so I enjoyed this book book in the moment. I don't know, like I don't want to read the second one. I'm not a big fantasy reader, so this was one of the first books that I read that was fantasy. So I thought that I liked it, but now I'm having second thoughts on it. I should probably change my Goodreads review because it has like a 4-star and I wouldn't give it a 4-star now. I'm just gonna put, honestly, forgettable. I got bored because I honestly do not remember that book. The book is honestly, it's out of my mind now. Next we have Malibu Rising. Everyone knows that I absolutely adore Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I'm trying to get through her backlist currently. Malibu Rising was definitely really good. I'm gonna put it in Loved You But You Weren't Perfect because I didn't rate this a 5 stars, but I'm pretty sure I rated this a 4.8. I don't remember why. It doesn't give me that 5-star feeling either, but it was a really good book for what it was, and I really enjoyed just like the whole plot line. Next we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This one, I'm pretty sure I also rated this one like a 4-star, a 4 point something stars. I think I'm gonna put it in it was enjoyable, I would recommend, even though that category is for like 3 stars and stuff like that, because I don't know, no, we're gonna put it in Loved You But You Weren't Perfect because I did really enjoy it. It was like a really fast-paced mystery and it's also in a series, and I do really want to pick up the next 2 books in the series, so it's pretty good there. I would say that that's pretty good. Next we have Scarlet Angel. This is the 3rd book in the Mindfuck series, so this one is definitely going into Would Sell My Soul to experience this for the first time again because I am absolutely in love with that series. It is by far my favorite series that I think I've ever read. Next we have is What I Lost, and even though I didn't rate this a 5 stars now, it is still one of my all-time favorite books, so that one's also going with the other ones up there because I absolutely adored this book. It was literally everything to me. Okay, we have a lot of back-to-back ones of my favorites because I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy this one has to go in the front because honestly, like, this is my all-time favorite book that I've ever read this year. I cannot express to you guys how much I am literally obsessed with this book. It is definitely like one of my all-time favorite books. That has to go there at the very top. The next one I have is, it's kind of a funny story. There's actually a movie made out of this and I still have not watched it, but I really want to. But I really did enjoy this book, so it's going into Loved You But You Weren't Perfect because it was super funny, but it does deal with a lot of really sensitive topics, so I would definitely check trigger warnings on that one. Next we have A Little Life. This one was an interesting one considering it was very heartbreaking. I did end up rating this book pretty highly on my Goodreads. Honestly, like, I would never reread it again. This one is going to, it was enjoyable and I would recommend it because I still do recommend it, but it is 830 pages, so I wouldn't read it again, to be honest. Definitely check trigger warnings. That's all I'm saying. Next we have The Silent Patient, and this one I did really enjoy. This one is going to, this one would sell my soul to experience it for the first time because I was not expecting this plot twist at the end. Honestly, like, it was mind-boggling to me. Then we have Nothing But the Truth. This one I actually recently read and I really enjoyed it, so I'm gonna put it in it was enjoyable and I would recommend it. Or I'm pretty sure, yeah, I rated this, I'm pretty sure, a 4.25 because it was really good, but at one part it got kind of slow and it taught me like a lot of life lessons, surprisingly, even though it was really unrealistic. Then we have The Sweetest Oblivion. This one just going into Don't Make Me Talk About It because I thought I would love this series. I thought that it was gonna be good. It was like a nice mafia romance. No, not at all. I actually, in one of my monthly wrap-ups when I read this book, I honestly just on the book the whole entire time, so we're not gonna talk about it because I absolutely hated that book. It was Next we have Monday's Not Coming. This is also going in this tier because I absolutely adore this book. It was also one of the earlier books that I read in my reading journey and it was amazing. It's like a 450 page book and I devoured it in less than 2 days. Love this book with my whole entire heart. Next we have Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. This one is going to, it was enjoyable. I would recommend because I really did enjoy this. This was one of the first rom-coms that I read because I thought I hated rom-coms, but after I read this one, I was a little bit more open-minded to them and I really enjoyed this. It was super cute, not too cringy, so that's probably why I enjoyed it. It will go in that tier. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, another one that I would sell my soul to experience for the first time because this was the first Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I've ever read and it's still probably one of my favorites that I've read. I'm pretty sure I rated that book like a 4 stars at the time, but it would definitely be a 5 stars now that I'm thinking back on it. I need to stop rating books as soon as I finish them because I always always change my rating. Next we have It's Not Summer Without You. This one is gonna go into honestly forgettable. I got bored because I really enjoyed the first one, so I thought that I would enjoy the other ones, but it wasn't the case. This one got boring, and I just like wasn't interested in like the storyline anymore. Like I felt okay with just the first book, even though it didn't end with an absolute answer. I didn't really want anything more from it, but I kind of wanted to see what would happen, so it was forgettable. I honestly don't remember that book, to be honest. So The Risk. This one is going into Loved You But You Weren't Perfect. This one I'm pretty sure I rated this one like a 4.8 out of 5, but I wouldn't sell my soul to experience it for the first time because like it was the first book in this series, so even though it was super good, the other ones that I've read so far are better. It's gonna go there, even though it's kind of in the middle of the two, to be honest. Next we have On the Come Up. I would put that in It Was Enjoyable. I would recommend. This was one of the books that I had in my basement for like 3 years and I just never read it, and then I finally decided to pick it up instead of going book shopping because I was broke. Oh, my dog. I actually really did enjoy this book. I rated it pretty highly, but it's definitely gonna go into It Was Enjoyable, and I recommend. Next we have We'll Always Have Summer. Yeah, don't make me talk about it. I hated this book. I absolutely hated it. I'm just not even gonna say anything else about it. Next we have Verity. I would definitely sell my soul to experience this for the first time again because this was the second Colleen Hoover book that I read, but it was such a crazy book. Like I honestly don't even know what to think. Even to this day, I haven't read the new edition added chapter yet, but I don't know, like I don't even know what team I'm on. I'm pretty sure I'm definitely on manuscript now that I'm thinking about it. Let me know down in the comments what team you guys are on, if you guys are on team manuscript or team letter, because I'm curious. Next we have Every Summer After. I would definitely sell my soul to read this for again. It was the absolute perfect summer book I think I've ever read. I tried to read as many summer books that I could during this summer, but this one was like my all-time favorite for sure. I rated this a 5 stars. Next we have The Ex-Hex. I'm gonna put this in It Was Enjoyable. I would recommend because it was a super good book, and I definitely am gonna be picking up the second one next coming fall or like early school year next year, I think, because it recently did come out. Yeah, it was a super good Halloween book. Perfect book for Halloween. I finished it on Halloween night, which was the perfect way to end my Halloween, so I really liked that. Next we have Better Than the Movies. That's going in Loved You But You Weren't Perfect. I absolutely adored this book, especially because a lot of the booktubers that I watch, this is one of their favorite books, so I knew I had to pick it up. I love Lynn Painter's writing. It's so good, except the only reason why this wasn't a 5 stars to me is because the main character was just really annoying and she kind of ruined the book for me a little bit. All the other characters I absolutely adored and I loved the plot. So next we have Girl in Pieces. Don't make me talk about it. That is definitely going there because I had so much hope for this book. This book was definitely one of my anticipated 5-star reads, but I just could not get into it. I don't think I really enjoy Kathleen Glasgow's writing, to be honest. It just wasn't for me. I was super interested with the synopsis and stuff and what the book said it was going to be about, but I don't really like that one, to be honest. Next we have My Dark Vanessa. This one is going in It Was Enjoyable. I would recommend because this book was definitely really good, but it was super dark and heartbreaking, so I felt like it was hard for me to like finish the book because of how unsettling it was. It kind of just made me feel uncomfortable most of the time. So next we have Regretting You. This is going into honestly forgettable. I got bored. I really enjoy Colleen Hoover's writing style, so that wasn't an issue. I just felt kind of bored and like I didn't really get too much out of the book, if that makes sense. Next is The Midnight Library. It was enjoyable. I would recommend. This book was really good and taught me so many life lessons, and I think the whole premise of the book is super important, but it was kind of repetitive at times. So like Milk and Honey. This was a 5-star read for me, but I don't think I'd sell my soul to experience it for the first time, only because like I don't know, like I really enjoyed it the first time and I definitely want to go back and like annotate it and like really dive into like the writing. Loved You But You Weren't Perfect. Even though it was perfect, I just wouldn't sell my soul. It's one of those middle ones again. Next we have Bunny. This one it's in the middle of It Was Enjoyable, I would recommend, and honestly forgettable because I did get bored with it, but it was also really good and I would recommend. We're gonna put it in It Was Enjoyable and I would recommend, but it was kind of boring. It wasn't worth as much hype as it got, if that makes sense. And lastly, we have Gutter Child, and this one is honestly forgettable. This one is going into honestly forgettable. I got bored. It was a school book that I had to read, and I rated it in decent rating. I'm pretty sure I rated it like 3.5, 3.75, but honestly, it's definitely forgettable. Like, it doesn't deal with the types of topics that I am interested in, if that makes sense, but it did teach me a lot about different cultures and like how other people are treated and stuff like that. It was a really sad book. For a school book, it was definitely the best school book that I've had to read. So, but here's our tier ranks. I'm pretty proud of it. Honestly, I didn't read too many books that I didn't necessarily not like, so I think we did pretty good this year so far. And I'm happy that I did this like in December, the month before the new year, so then I got to like rank all the books that I've so far read. But I didn't start my reading journey until April of this year, so I'm excited for what the new year brings and how many books I'm gonna read then. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this little tier ranking thing. It's something new that I haven't tried, and it was so fun to film. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want me to tier rank anything else that you can think of, please let me know down below in the comments, because I would love to do that, because this was so fun to film. But yeah, I think that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff you guys know how to do. And if you guys made it to this point of the video, comment down this emoji right here in the comments. And with that, I hope you guys are having an amazing, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!